Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the backstory. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today there was a burial ceremony which was being conducted in Embu County. And the burial ceremony was for a veteran politician from Mount Kenya, that is the Mount Kenya East, known as Lenny Kivuti. His son was being buried today. And now that Lenny Kivuti is a senior politician from Mount Kenya, it was expected that the president, or even the president, the deputy president, would attend. Now, the president was also attending a burial ceremony in Western Kenya. The burial was for the speaker's mom, that is Wetangula's mom. So you'd expect ideally that now that the president was in Western, he would send the deputy president to represent him in Embu. Unfortunately, the deputy president was also missing. So the honors was on JB Muturi to represent the president, and it was to read the condolence message from the president. But one funny thing is that when it was his turn to read the president's condolence message, Embu residents flatly refused to listen to the president's condolence message. So I want us to listen in, then come back.
I've been given a message of condolence from His Excellency the President. Yeah? I have given my message of condolence to Honorable Lenny Kivuti. I have given my message of condolence to Honorable Lenny Kivuti. Yangu. Ni kweli? Nimetoa yangu, si ni kweli? Sasa mimi pale nimefika mwisho ni kusema nimepokea ujumbe. Ya? Niwapatie, mnasema hivyo? Ha? Nisome nisisome? I have been advised wisely, you know, as a former speaker. As a former speaker, na mnajua the late JJ Kamodho used to say, talk about kura ya makelele. Nimesikia kura hiyo ya makelele. Yeah? This message is to the family of the Honorable Senator Lenny Kivuti. I have the honor to deliver this message to the Honorable Lenny Kivuti in public. With those very many remarks, waombolezaji wenzangu, wakazi wa Mbeere, wakazi wa Embu, wa Kenya kwa jumla, nataka kusema asante sana kwa kunisikiza na kutusikiza zote wakati tumekuja hapa kuomboleza na ndugu yangu, familia yake, Mheshimiwa Lenny Kivuti. Do you have the liberty? So, I want to say asanteni sana, na nataka kuwatambua wote ambao mmekuja, marafiki zangu ambao Bazuka, Senator Kenywa, Mteja, Mheshimiwa Jane Kihara, we call each other Mteja. She's my very good friend, she's a friend to my wife. Nyote asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki, tusindikishe mtoto wetu. Thank you very much.
Hebu tusimame kwanza, tusimame tuimbe ile wimbo tunaimba, wewe kemwadha ni rwendo ni first two stanzas. Wewe kemwadha ni rwendo ni two stanzas. Ili tukaribishe Nipa wa Kifuti, kiongozi ambaye ni rafiki wa wengi, pamoja na pasta walete pia salamu. Wewe kemwadha ni rwendo ni
Now, ladies and gentlemen, from the video that you've just watched, there are so many questions that have risen. Because one, you'd want to ask yourself that why have the Embu residents decided not to listen to the president's speech? Is it because the president has lost Mount Kenya altogether and he has also given up on Mount Kenya? Because look at how JB Muturi handled that situation. For me, from my perspective, I think JB Muturi should have insisted more. It should have been persuasive in the way he engaged the Embu residents. But it was too casual. It's like the president and his handlers have given up on Mount Kenya. Then the second question that comes to mind is the question of the absence of the deputy president. Where is Kindiki? Where is the deputy president, Kindiki Kithure? Because ideally, as I've said earlier, it was Kindiki who should have represented the president in this function. Remember, Kindiki comes from the Mount Kenya East. He comes from Meru County, and Meru neighbors Embu. Meru and Embu are the counties that are known to come from the Mount Kenya East. So ideally, this is his hometown. But if you look at what happened in the past when the president, Kindiki, Gachagua, and the former president, Uhuru Kenyatta, when they attended a church service some times back, the kind of reception that Kindiki received, and the kind of reception that he has been receiving since he was appointed as the deputy president, has not been very positive and welcoming for a person of a deputy president. So at the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, has Kindiki also given up, or does he fear backlash from Mount Kenya residents? Or what is it that is happening? This is his home ground that you'd expect him to be present and represent the president in all this. But he was not there. He's been missing in action. He's not been seen in public for quite some time. And there have been so many speculations that I don't want to get into. But for this one, you'd want to ask yourself, where is he, or where was he? And why did he represent the president in this? So many people have been saying that Kindiki fears backlash from the Mount Kenya residents because of the way he took over that office after Rigathi Gachagua was hounded out of office. So many people, so many Mount Kenya residents, when you talk to them, they tell you that they expected like Kindiki not to take up that position. And RUTO's handlers thought that by hounding Rigathi Gachagua out of office and giving that position to Kindiki, the reception would have been very good, and they would have gotten like a plus or a warm reception in Mount Kenya. And this has not worked according to their plan. So there is another factor which might have also contributed to the Embu residents rejecting President Ruto's speech. This factor is about the abduction of Gen Zs. Remember, there is Embu witnessed one of the worst demonstrations that have ever been seen in Embu town. And these guys were demonstrating against the abduction of a boy that they consider as one of their own. And up to now, that boy has not been released. No one knows where he is. And if you watch that video or whatever was happening in that during that burial ceremony, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua talked about local leaders not being vocal enough to highlight some of these issues, like the issue of abduction of this guy. So it's like the Embu residents and the Mount Kenya residents feel like they are being targeted. Some of their youths are being targeted. Their residents are being targeted by the government of the day. So I want to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, if you are from Mount Kenya, kindly tell us, what do you think? Why was the reception so cold? And why didn't JB Muturi try as much as possible to convince the people from Embu to accept the president's speech? You know, this is the second time this is happening in central Kenya. There was a time the president's speech was ignored, and this is the second time it's happening. So does it mean that if the president himself makes it to central Kenya, maybe during a burial or something, does it mean that the residents can be bold enough to walk out on him? And is it the reason as to why, since the hounding of Rigathi Gachagua from office, the president has never stepped into Mount Kenya region? Is there something that he knows? And what are the ramifications of this as we head into 2027 general election? So the ramification to me, I think, is that the president and his handlers needs to work around the clock to try as much as possible to win back central Kenya into their fold. But with the kind of fear that they are exhibiting, it shows, or it gives their detractors more energy to try and sideline him or to get him out of central Kenya. And if he loses central Kenya ahead of 2027, then the president and his handlers will have to work extra hard to get votes that will replace whatever he received from central Kenya in 2022. Because remember, in the last general election, the president received like over 50% of the votes that he received came from central. So if he loses central Kenya, I don't know how he's going to balance his votes so that whoever is going to vie against him does not win central and win other regions ahead of 2027. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep monitoring what's going on. In our next video, we'll also look at why I think the president is regretting impeaching Rigathi Gachagua as the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. So keep it here. We'll keep monitoring what is happening in the political cycle, and we'll keep you posted. But if you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Until next time, bye-bye.